Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV. This is part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. Today we have a brand new team that I've made, and I'm going to go through it as quickly as possible while still kind of giving you the gist of it. But it's a really fun team with a couple of new Pokemon, I guess particularly one Pokemon, and that is Tornadus, which is... it's not a new Pokemon by any stretch, but, you know, it's pretty recently added and, well, I guess it's been a while, but either way, my point is Tornadus is a Pokemon that you do not typically see in Battle Stadium singles, and therefore it is kind of new to singles in that it's rare, I guess. Not a great explanation, but anyway. I really wanted to try Tornadus just because I felt like it has a lot going for it, notably with the Regenerator ability and a Life Orb. So it can do a lot of damage with the Life Orb, and then if it switches out or you turns out, it'll heal a third of its HP, so it can kind of stay alive throughout a battle. The biggest downsides with Tornadus are that its speed stat, while very high, and of course this is Tornadus Therian, its speed stat is very high, but it unfortunately doesn't really contend with some of the fastest Pokemon in the meta. Of course, those Pokemon being stuff like Flutter and Chien-Pao. However, I have tried to mitigate that mostly by giving it a Terra Steel type, so it can kind of surprise take hits from those. You know, typically if you're up against a Flutter they're probably going to hit you with a Moonblast, which we would resist, or if they have Power Gem, they would go for that, so we would be able to resist those moves by Terastallizing and 100% knock them out with the Steel-type Terra Blast. Pretty much same deal with Chien-Pao. If you face a Chien-Pao, they're likely to go for an Ice-type move against you, which you could resist by Terastallizing and then, you know, do a ton of damage with the Steel-type Terra Blast. Bleakwind Storm is a new move for Tornadus. The Genies got signature moves in Legends Arceus, and they transferred over to Scarlet and Violet. And this one is 100 base power, it's a special attack, and it's only 80 accuracy, so it's really rough. It's kind of like a special flying type version of Stone Edge. However, my other option is Air Slash, so I did decide to choose Bleakwind Storm, even though it's not very accurate. And we'll kind of see how that goes. Obviously, I'm probably going to be missing some moves in this video, so let's hope I don't miss too many. But we also have Knock Off, which is a great move right now, and then U-Turn, of course. So I've been liking Tornadus. It's been a lot of fun. You know, I definitely enjoy using Pokemon that are less commonly used. And Tornadus is a Pokemon that I think is pretty strong, although, again, there are a lot of ways that it is kind of outclassed or just that it just kind of doesn't do enough. So this is what I settled on, and I'm running max special attack. I'm running just enough speed. I am a timid nature, just enough speed to outspeed Ogerpon. So Ogerpon's a very common Pokemon. Of course, with our flying type move, we can deal super effective damage to most Ogerpon variants, notably the fire one, which is I think the most common one. But beyond that, you know, we are outsped by most everything else. But that's Tornadus, and then everything else on the team is pretty standard, I would say. We've got Fluttermane. This is a unique Fluttermane set. I don't remember if I've done a video with this Fluttermane yet. I know I've been working on this Fluttermane set in Pokemon Showdown for a while, but I know I'm behind on my teams that I've wanted to feature. So I don't remember if I've featured this Fluttermane in a video yet, but this is max HP and max defense Fluttermane with 4 EVs in speed, so that we still get the speed boost with our booster energy. So we end up being just a really tanky Fluttermane that is also faster than almost everything in the meta. Of course, we're not faster than other booster energy Fluttermanes or booster energy iron bundles. However, because we're bulky, we can usually set up a Calm Mind, usually tank a hit or two from them, and do hopefully a lot of damage with our Moonblast and Shadow Ball. Because for Fluttermane, almost all you need is Moonblast and Shadow Ball. It's nice to have the coverage of like Mystical Fire and Power Gem, but giving yourself the option to boost your stats with Calm Mind and also taunt Pokemon is also just fantastic. So I mean, it doesn't need to be said that Fluttermane is an amazing Pokemon. I don't think it needs too much more explanation. And I went Terra Fairy here, just because it can help boost the power of Moonblast, and Fairy's a solid defensive type anyway, so if we Terastallize, you know, we're still pretty bulky and we can still resist hits from a lot of things. There are a lot of options for Terra types for Fluttermane, but this is what I settled on. So we'll try out this bulky Fluttermane set. And then we have Assault Vest Ursaluna, which I have featured before, I think, and it's a great Pokemon. It's actually one of the most commonly used Pokemon right now. It's jumped right up to the, I believe it's in the top 5 last I checked. So strong Pokemon, you know, doesn't need too much more explanation as well. Then we're bringing it back with an original. This is Annihilape, which was one of the best Pokemon in the early stages of Scarlet and Violet. It's still a solid Pokemon. It's still a great Pokemon. This is max HP, max special defense with Taunt and Bulk Up, and then, you know, Rage Fist, Drain Punch. It's a great Pokemon. I found that Annihilape is great against certain leads, typically Pokemon that would want to try to set up Stealth Rock. And a Pokemon that's surprisingly kind of annoying to deal with is actually Empoleon. So Annihilape's really good against Empoleon. Then we've got Gyarados. This one is almost max HP, and then I think almost max defense or max defense, and then just enough speed so that after 2 Dragon Dances, it'll outspeed like Flutter Mane. I know that's not like really great, like, oh, 2 Dragon Dances. It's rare that you'll be getting up 2 Dragon Dances, but it's still bulky and it can take hits from a lot of the common Pokemon in the meta. Gyarados' typing is amazing. I know I've been using it kind of a lot lately. I just find, I mean, it's excellent against Ogerpon. It's great against Urshifu, decent against Chien-Pao. I mean, it's just great against like any physical attacker in the meta right now. So I've been really liking Gyarados. And then finally we have Skeledirge, who's another Pokemon that it was one of the best Pokemon in original Scarlet and Violet singles. And it hasn't been quite as good lately just because there are just so many powerful Pokemon that have been added. But I still like Skeledirge's place in the meta, and you know, this is the set that I ran the last time I ran Skeledirge, which is max HP, and then I think 52 defense EVs, and then the rest in special defense to help against Pokemon like Flutter Mane and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been liking this team, I've been testing with it, and it's been a lot of fun, so let's go ahead and try it out. Battle number 1, my opponent has Gliscor, which I hate. Wait, do I have an answer to Gliscor? God, I hate Gliscor. I think maybe Ursaluna or something, but anyways, they have Ogerpon, which is scary. They have Espeon, which is really interesting. I think that's for Magic Bounds. I've been thinking of using Espeon, actually. It seems like an interesting Pokemon. They do have Ninetales, which of course is going to set up the Sun. However, they don't have that many Pokemon that can take advantage of it, so I'm assuming like Ninetales is just there maybe for support for the Ogerpon. So that's something I'm going to need to keep in mind. Like Taunt is going to be helpful here. Do I like Gyarados? I kind of do like Gyarados. It's pretty decent against a few of the things they have going on, but also that Gliscor is just going to be so annoying. What do we do here? Do I like Annihilape? Annihilape seems decent, but it's going to struggle against their physical attackers unless I can get up a Bulk Up or 2 beforehand. I think I do like Ursaluna, and then I'm going to need a way to deal with their Ursaluna, which is really, really rough. Is this a Tornadus game? I should have asked that first, shouldn't I have? I kind of want to bring Tornadus to show it off. I think I'm going to bring my first 3 Pokemon here. I might regret this. Is this really bad if they just bring Chien-Pao? Probably. Whatever, we're going to try it. I don't know, my first 3 Pokemon look decent here, although Chien-Pao is a real issue, but everything else on their team looks decently manageable with the first 3 that I brought. Obviously, there are situations where it could kind of go either way, but we're going to find out. They lead Chien-Pao, the one Pokemon I said I was most afraid of, and I'm going to lead with Tornadus. GG. No, I wonder if I just Terrasilize right away. I think that's fine, honestly. And then I'm gonna go Terra Blast. If they stay in, they're probably they're probably Focus Sash, because I think typically people who lead with Chien-Pao run it with a Focus Sash, so maybe I should have actually just U-turned there, because I do run the risk of losing my Tornadus now. But we're gonna see. I mean, hey, the goal of this video is to show off Tornadus, because it's an awesome Pokemon. They do go for an Ice-type move, so that's nice. It still does a lot of damage. It does almost half. So that just shows right there how rough this is going to be. And then they are not Sash. That is perfect. If they were Sash, we would be in a really, really awkward spot. But because they're not, we're in a really good spot, actually. And we lose a lot of health there. But, of course, we have the option to switch out and recover some of that health. However, they're going to go into Ogerpon, which means we're going to have to test the waters with this Bleak Wind Storm. And hope that it doesn't miss, because otherwise I'm going to cry. They do Terrasilize, which makes sense. Now they are no longer weak to it, so they probably assumed that I had a Flying-type move, and they're just going to Terrasilize. to remove that flying type weakness. However, Bleak Wind Storm will still do neutral damage, so it should still do a lot of damage if it hits. The keyword is if it hits. Let's see what happens here, everyone. Yes, we get to see the Bleak Wind Storm animation, and it's gonna lower their speed as well. That's something I think I forgot to mention with Bleak Wind Storm, is it always lowers the enemy's speed. They're gonna just destroy us with a cudgel here, but we're in a really good spot now. The thing is, we did lower their speed, but I do not think it matters because Fluttermane was gonna be faster than them anyway, and Ursaluna is probably still slower than them, so I could go into Ursaluna and go for Vacuum Wave, but I don't think that's gonna do enough. I probably should calculate. I probably should have a calc open whenever I do these videos, but I just don't. And I'm honestly not sure that we can knock them out at that range, to be honest. But I'm gonna go for it here. We do have max HP and max defense, although I don't know that that's gonna be enough. They do switch though, which is good for me. Oh, well then they go into this. Okay. Do I Calm Mind? I mean, yeah, I think I do. I could Moonblast. I'm gonna Calm Mind first. They're probably gonna Blood Moon. Of course, Ursaluna's ability makes it so that its normal type moves can hit ghosts. So Blood Moon would hit me, and it would probably do a lot of damage. Oh, they go Calm Mind. All right. I'm gonna have to taunt. Oh, this is rough. Because I can taunt them, sure, but they already have a Calm Mind up, so they're already just gonna be, you know, they're in a really good spot. But we're in an okay spot. I mean, both of us have pretty low special, or sorry, they have low special defense. Yeah. Oh, did they use Calm Mind? Is that what that's saying? Perfect. Okay. So now we're just going to be kind of spamming our moves at each other, but my Moonblast has a potential... Oh, that's great. Yeah. I was going to say, my Moonblast has potential to lower its special attack. I should live this. Yeah, I do. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, I think this is going to be game, to be honest. Oh, they're Life Orb. Wow. If they switch an Ogerpon, they're going to die to a follow-up Shadow Ball. And if they stay in, they're dead. And then if we do not knock out Ogerpon with Shadow Ball, then we can just go into our Ursaluna and go for Vacuum Wave. So... We win. We get to show off Tornadus, and we get to show off my, I think, unique Fluttermane set. So that's a great game one if you ask me. Yeah, they get that +1 attack once again, and then we're just gonna go ahead and click Shadow Ball. And again, if it does not knock them out by some chance, then we still have Ursaluna's priority in the back. Nice. All right, cool, good stuff. So that was a great game one. Yeah, and again, I'm super happy we got to show off Tornadus, and that's why I like Tornadus, and that's in general why I like using Pokemon that people don't typically use, because sometimes they just don't know what the heck you're gonna do, right? They don't know what to expect because, you know, sometimes like they don't even know what certain Pokemon can do because they're so uncommonly seen that, you know, people don't really follow up on that. So anyways, the point is we got to surprise them with Tornadus, which was awesome. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of my Tornadus. So that's game one. Let's go to game two. We've got game number two. We've got another Gliscor. We've got another Ogerpon and Dragapult. Dragapult's scary. If you saw my last team that I did, the last two videos with this team, or with a team that had a Dragapult on it, it had Focus Sash with a couple status moves. So Dragapult like usually is going to be a lead, because sadly it's like not strong enough to be like a purely offensive threat, so usually it ends up being a really good support option because it's really fast. I do like Ursaluna here. Although Ursaluna probably won't do that much damage against Scizor, which is rough. Snorlax is also really tanky from the special side, and then Ogerpon's another rough one because they're going to be faster than us, so they're probably going to do a lot of damage. So I actually don't know if I want to bring Ursaluna here. I really like Gyarados, though. Gyarados is great against Scizor and Ogerpon, and maybe good against Snorlax, depending on what set they're going for. Do I like the Tornadus lead? I think I do. They might lead Dragapult. I think I like Tornadus here again. And then, once again, I do believe that Fluttermane looks pretty nice as well. And then, who's it gonna be in the back? I have to, oh, well, I already said Gyarados looked good, so I'm bringing that. Yeah, Gliscor, it's rough to not have a Gliscor answer. I know on my last team, I think was when I had Goldango, it really feels like you need something on your team that is going to be aware of Gliscor, because otherwise it can just really annoy you just by stalling you out, by subbing and toxicking and all that. They do lead Dragapult, which is what I expected. I have a couple options here. I think typically Dragapult leads Run, Focus Sash. So I actually think I'm going to click Storm first, because if we hit, we get to lower their speed, which means we'll be faster on the next turn. They go Light Screen, which is rough, and we do get off the Storm, which is perfect. It doesn't do that much damage, unfortunately, but of course this knockoff will be super effective. So, and they don't have a wait. Oh no, they have Clear Body. Never mind. So they have Clear Body, which means we do not lower their stats. And now they click Darts, which luckily for me doesn't even kill, so that's pretty rough for them. And again, they did not get a Reflect, so this is going to do massive damage. Yeah, perfect. Did they have Light Clay? Why didn't it show their item? Oh yeah, there we go. I think, for my knowledge, I think it doesn't matter. Like, since they had Light Clay when they used Light Screen, I think they're still going to get the screens for like 8 turns. Okay, so now they know I have knockoff, so they're probably just going to protect here. But I'm still going to go for it, because if we get to knock off their Toxic Orb... Oh, are you serious? That is the incorrect play. Assuming they have Protect, they should not have let me knock off their Toxic Orb, because now their Gliscor is kind of useless. Like, it's not useless, but yeah, either way, that was like the wrong play for my opponent. The question is, do they have Protect? So should we switch here? If we switch, of course, we will get a little bit of recovery. I think I'm just gonna stay in. I'm gonna Terra Blast, which seems weird, but I just don't want to miss the Bleakwind Storm, and Terra Blast should still do decent damage because Gliscor doesn't have great special defense. What? Wait, what am I missing here? Why did that do 0 damage? I mean, I know it was not literally 0, but that was weird. Okay, they go Sub, which is nowhere near as threatening, given that they've lost their Toxic Orb. So I'm gonna actually go into Gyarados here. Unfortunately, we are not going to get the Intimidate off, which actually kind of doesn't matter. Well, actually it might matter, to be honest. Or do they have Hyper Cutter? Or does it always say it doesn't affect them if they're behind a sub? My question now is, should I Terrastalize? This is actually rough. So here's the thing. If I Terra, I'm a lot worse against Ogerpon. If I know they have Ogerpon in the back, I do not want to Terrastalize my Gyarados. So I'm just going to click Waterfall here. They're probably going to Toxic, which is really annoying. And then, yeah, this is really annoying, but this is my best shot, I guess. Do they have, are they max HP, max special defense? Like, I'm just confused why Terra Blast did so little damage, because typically Gliscor has, I mean, it's not super low special defense, but it's much lower special defense than defense. And I know Terra Blast has this kind of interaction where once you are Terrastalized, Terra Blast will be a physical or special attack, depending on which is your highest stat. So they do have Protect, wow. I should have predicted that and gone for Dragon Dance. But when you use Terra Blast without Terrastalizing, I think it's always a special attack, and my Tornadus' special attack is its highest stat, so I'm surprised about that, yeah. Once again, the fact that we knocked off their Toxic Orb is absolutely huge, because like their Gliscor is not really stalling out to the best of its ability. Like normally Gliscor, if it were protecting and I was taking poison damage and they were gaining health, that's just like so insurmountable. It's like just insane. But given the situation here, you know, we actually get to, they don't get any recovery, which means we guarantee knock them out with the Waterfall. And we're going to see who their last Pokemon is, and it is Snorlax. All right. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. I think I have to switch out right away and Taunt, because I'm expecting them to go for like Curse or something. If they just go Body Slam, that's also fine with me because I am immune to it. But yeah, I definitely need to Taunt them here. We're going to consume the Booster Energy, which is fine because like obviously we're going to be faster no matter what. Because it means like if we have to switch out, wow, they have Protect. What? If we have to switch out and lose the booster energy boost, it doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot about Light Screen. I'm so dumb. I'm so forgetful. Yeah, I forgot about Light Screen. So we get to taunt them. They might go for like Crunch, maybe Heavy Slam. If they have Heavy Slam, that's... Oh my god, are you serious? How common is that? Does it normally run Heavy Slam? Okay, this is actually kind of rough. We know they're not Assault Vest. Why do they have Protect? They could have Leftovers. I mean, I can't really do anything else here. I have to just stay and get off some damage. Go into Gyarados and maybe set up a Dragon Dance and hope for the best. We might be losing this one to a Snorlax. Which, I mean, to be fair, I love me some Snorlax, so if we have to lose to a Snorlax, I'm more okay with that than losing against other things. But yeah, this is going to be really, really rough. I think I could... I'm going to Terrasilize. The fact that we're poisoned, if we weren't poisoned, I think I could win this battle, but the fact that we're poisoned means we have a ticking clock. I'm going to Iron Head here, maybe flinch them. I am Terrasilizing because unless they have Earthquake, like, their best move in their mind is probably going to be like a normal type move. So they're probably going to go for a normal type move here. They cannot Protect right now because they're still taunted. I just got to hope for the best. Maybe this does a lot of damage, but who knows? I don't know what they're running here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it does nothing. They go Heavy Slam. Maybe that's their best move then? The thing is, once their taunt wears off, they're able to go for like other moves, which can be really annoying depending on what they have. So far, again, we know they have Protect and Heavy Slam, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know what sets typically run that, but I'm gonna click Dragon Dance here. Like I said before, if we did not get poisoned from Gliscor, I think we definitely would have won this battle because we would just be able to stall them out, set up Dragon Dances when we can, and then just finish them off with a lot of damage. Because of the poison, we're on, like I said, I already said that, but we're on a ticking clock. However, we do have the Citrus Berry, so this turn we are going to get Citrus Berry, and then we are going to be doing a little bit more damage with our Iron Heads now, so I think every other turn I'm probably just going to go ahead and Dragon Dance, predicting them to Protect, so... What else would Snorlax be running if they're running Protect? I guess they have Leftovers, so that makes some amount of sense, because you can Protect and then get a little bit of Leftovers recovery. But... I don't know, it just seems weird to me. Okay, that's decent damage right there. And we flinched them, perfect. So I think they're definitely going to Protect here because we just flinched them. So they're like, I'm assuming they're gonna feel a little bit like desperate to get some health back. So I am going to go ahead and Dragon Dance here. I think we still have about 3 or 4 turns left of Poison, so I feel like we have enough turns left to win this. Yeah, they Protect, and we get up another Dragon Dance, which means I think that our Iron Head should be able to knock them out in one hit here, even with Leftovers recovery. And if it doesn't, I think we're still fine. I'm just going to spam Iron Head at that point. And like I said, I think we have a couple more turns of Poison left, so this is going to come down to the wire, but I think we should be able to win. Never mind, I think we have 1 turn. So if they get the double Protect, they win. Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Arceus. I mean, this might not even kill, but I think it does. We're at +2 attack. Yeah, perfect. Okay, awesome. That was a rough one. That was a tough one. I was feeling like we were going to lose, like, once I saw that I was poisoned, but Gyarados was clutch there. And see, Gyarados is really good in the meta right now. Like I said, if you can build your team around it, like if you have a nice place for it in your team, it can be very good in the current meta, so I really like it. And this is the second time on video where I encountered a Gliscor and my opponent did not Protect against me. And I know this is not 100% true like all the time, but I feel like if you're using Gliscor, you probably should Protect right away just to guarantee you get your Toxic Orb. My opponent knew I had knockoff in this battle, and they still didn't Protect. Like, why? So that was a big misplay on my opponent's part. So I feel like if you're going to use Gliscor and you have Protect, just use it turn 1. Like, you guarantee you get that Toxic Orb activated so that if your opponent has knockoff or Will-O-Wisp or something, they don't completely nullify your item and basically nullify your Pokemon, because without Poison Heal, Gliscor is not great. The reason it's so good is because it recovers so much health with Poison Heal each turn, and then it can stall you out by either poisoning you or just spamming Earthquake and getting behind subs. It's really annoying, and so the whole point of it is to, you know, make sure you got that Toxic Orb going. So a little lesson for everyone, I guess. I'm just really surprised. I mean, I'm super, super happy that my opponent let us knock off their Toxic Orb. I'm just surprised that they did. Anyways, game 3. All right. Is this a stall team? They have a Moongus, they have Avalugg. I feel like you only ever see Avalugg on stall teams because it has an absolutely massive defense stat. So I've never really faced it though, so I'm a little worried. But anyway, they have Ting-Lu. I'm tempted to lead with Annihilape, and I actually do think I will do that. Annihilape's actually pretty good here. And I'm max HP, max special defense, so if they lead with Chi-Yu, I can still take a hit or two. Maybe not 2 because of its ability, but yeah, I like Annihilape here. I do like Tornadus as well, but actually I like Tornadus. But I don't want to lead with it because if they lead Ting-Lu against Tornadus, then they're guaranteed to get up Stealth Rock. So I'm going to bring Tornadus just because we're featuring it in this video and it looks like it's pretty good here. And then from there, I actually think I like Flutter Mane. Yeah, Gyarados looks solid here as well, but again, their Avalugg is going to be so hard to break through for Gyarados. What about Ursaluna? This is actually a decent Ursaluna game as well. Does that make it correct to bring it? Ursaluna, I don't like Ursaluna in the face of a Moongus. Ursaluna is fine here actually, but Dragonite could be scary for it because it's faster and, you know, can set up Dragon Dances, which could be rough. And breaking through multiscale is tough. Chi-Yu could do a lot of damage, even though I am Assault Vest. Ursaluna's special defense is not great, and Chi-Yu is really strong. I love my opponent's trainer card, the double Psyduck. Gotta love that. That's honestly, I'm gonna say that's the best trainer card I've ever seen in this game. They lead Dragonite. Yikes. I'm gonna taunt. If they're one of those weird, like kind of like Fire Spin or Thunder Wave Dragonites, then I'm probably faster than them. And if they set up a Dragon Dance here, that's not good for me, but we at least get to taunt them turn 1. They're gonna Terrasilize right away. Are we gonna get swept by a Dragonite? Are we gonna get 3-0'd by a Dragonite? Let's see. Terra Flying. Okay, so they're gonna Terra Blast. They're gonna absolutely annihilate us with Terra Blast. No pun intended. Annihilate. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Oh my god. And the thing is, I don't know whether this is a physical or special Terra. So that is awkward. But we do have Tornadus in the back with the Terra Steel. Huh. I think I go for that. That's the nice thing about running Terra, Fairy, Flutter Mane is because sometimes it's nice to Terrasilize it, but also given that it's already a Fairy type, like you don't always feel like super obligated to Terrasilize it. So I think I'm gonna start with Knockoff because no matter what move we go for, we're not gonna do that much damage to them because I think they're choiced because of the multi-scale, but they end up switching out and they go into Ting-Lu. All right, yikes. So they're gonna get off. We get to knock off, which is something. I mean, I'm not super happy about that. And then we can U-turn into Flutter Mane and I guess taunt, but at that point they've already gone for Stealth Rock. This is why it helps to run like kind of sets that people don't expect, like my opponent's Terra Flying Dragonite. I know Terra Flying is kind of somewhat common on Dragonite, but as a lead, like I was not expecting that. Storm probably doesn't do that much damage. I'm gonna U-turn here. Oh, they have a Wiglet helmet. Oh, I didn't know they had that. That's cool. The helmets, I just felt like the helmets look kind of ugly in this game, so I didn't want to wear one, but yeah, we U-turn, does just about 0 damage, but it's something, I guess. We get to go into Flutter Mane. Their ability is, of course, going to be lowering our special attack, which is really annoying. They're probably going to Stealth Rock here. Typically, Ting-Lu runs Stealth Rock, Ruination, Earthquake, and Whirlwind, which is actually really annoying because if we start setting up... Oh, they just Earthquake, okay. If we start setting up... Yikes. If we start setting up Combines, they could just Whirlwind us out. So I'm just going to click Moonblast here because I don't have that much else to do. At least we know that they cannot Terrasilize, so there's no way they could, you know, change their typing on us. And also, we knocked off their Citrus Berry, so they can't recover any health. So those are two very small positives in this otherwise nightmarish situation. Yeah, this battle's not looking great for us, but we're going to see what happens here. So obviously what went wrong was I didn't even consider my opponent could lead with Dragonite, and I think they very smartly identified that I would probably be leading with my Annihilape. So they were able to kind of get the upper hand there. They go Goldango. If they don't have Covert Cloak, there's a chance we lower their special attack. Oh, perfect. Okay. But if they're like, oh, they're leftovers. Interesting. I'm tempted to Calm Mind, but I don't think I want to mess around here. I'm just going to Shadow Ball, honestly. I don't think we knock them out. And then the thing is, they might knock us out with Make It Rain. Yeah, this is a rough battle. If we lose... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna live. Because I was gonna say if we lose oh wow, okay, I'll take that. I was gonna say if we lose Flutter Mane, I don't think there's any chance Tornadus can beat Tinglu. I mean, even still, I'm not sure there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. I click Shadow Ball because they don't have a good switch into it. If they switch into Tinglu, there's a chance they get special defense drop, which is bad for them. Now, if they go into Dragonite, I mean, Flutter Mane's just kind of as good as dead, but I was going to say if they go into Dragonite, they cannot Extreme Speed because we're a Ghost type. So that's one positive. We get to guarantee some damage on them. And if they go into Dragonite, I will just click Shadow Ball, hopefully to get the special defense drop because that'll really help against Tornadus. But this is not looking like a good battle for us. Trying to think. Tinglu is just... Hopefully they go Tinglu here and we get off a lot of damage with Moonblast. Yeah, this... I don't know, actually. I think no matter what happens, we're probably losing here. But at least we were... Like, I was expecting the Goldango to knock us out, so at least we survived longer than I expected. So let's click Moonblast, get off as much damage as possible on them. I highly, highly, highly doubt it'll kill, but it'll do some decent damage, which should allow... That's solid damage. That's respectable. Should allow Tornadus to come in and maybe knock it out. I'm not even sure. And then they go into Dragonite and they have their multi-scale intact and they probably have Earthquake and we are probably just dead. But it was a good run and we did get to show off our beautiful Tornadus. And honestly, this video, I would say Tornadus did some good work for us. So I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of Tornadus here. I don't even know if this will kill. They're just so bulky. But let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it does kill. I guess they were pretty low. I should have expected it to kill. But now the big question is, what do we do here? And like I said, it's pretty likely they have Earthquake. If they have Earthquake, I think it's just straight up good game because they're probably Choice Banded. Let's see. There's a chance we win, but I just doubt it. I'm going to knock off just to break the multi-scale, knock off a potential choice item. Does respectable damage. It is absolutely Choice Band. I don't think we're living this. Please, please. Nah, they're max attack, so yeah. All right, that was a fun one still. You know, that was I would say that's a respectable loss because obviously it's not fun to lose, but again, I think my opponent had a really good read on turn one, just going right into that Dragonite. And this really shows the power of, I mean, you don't really need to say this, but the power of Dragonite. I mean, Dragonite obviously has been one of the best Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. And that's just because it's so versatile. It can do so many different things. And Terra Blast, Terra Flying, like Choice Band, is kind of like an older kind of set. It's been around for a while. And I don't think it's the most common set these days, but it's really good. Like, as you saw there, it's really good. Like yeah. So, good game to my opponent there. You know, I think that makes a lot of sense that we lost that one, but that was just a matter of me not really, like, identifying that they could possibly lead with Dragonite. And that's why singles is really rough, because like if you make the wrong prediction for leads, sometimes you just straight up lose the whole battle because of it. And we were on the back foot that entire game. So good stuff. It was a lot of fun. And I really, really like this team. So of course, if you want to try it out yourself, there's the team code in the beginning. I do think Tornadus is really good in this meta. You know, obviously it's not one of the best Pokemon out there, but I like what it has going for it, and it's definitely really strong. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to check out the information on this team, I will put a PokePaste in the description with all of the EV spreads. And of course, the code is at the beginning if you want to try it out for yourself. We never brought Skeledirge or Ursaluna, but that could just be the opponents we faced. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. It really does help me out, and I love to see it. And I'd love to see some comments on the video letting me know which is your favorite genie or force of nature. What are they called? Like Tornadus, Thunderous, Landorus, and now Enamorous. I should try using all of them. I think I actually have tried all of them at this point. Maybe not Landorus. But either way, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.